Okay, so we're back for another uh, episode of Pope Hopes, I suppose. We're going to be looking at something a little bit different today, and something I'm pretty excited about. I had used it before, but it was in a testing mode. Um, as most people know, I'm a TED fanatic, those TED videos, and so um, there's a site. If you go to um, Google and just type TED Ed, you can come in here and TED Ed, and it's the URL is actually ed.ted.com. But what this is actually this is a branch of those TED videos. And what this is an educational site. And it's got some pretty cool stuff on it. I had seen it and demoed it with some vice principals and some teachers last year, I suppose. But it was in its beta testing, and it's gotten a lot more involved and pretty impressive, to be completely honest with you. So what it is essentially takes um, it creates lessons around TED videos, around TED Talks. And so let me just close this stuff. But you can see here, so you get into it, and then there's a pretty generic little launching pad that's got some stuff. So let's go right across the top. Lessons here. So let's go to lessons. That's kind of where you are right now. But what happens here, you can see here, there's a bunch of different lessons that have been created not by TED, but by educators all over the world. And so they're using TED Talks as lessons. So they've got them all by topic down here, and you can go through it. So let's just take a look at one, for instance. So there's this one here. I'll just take the first one, the pattern behind self-deception. So, and it's pretty slick looking. So there's a little bit of an intro, and you can go through it here. There's those steps on the right-hand side. You can watch the video, and it all plays right there, right in it. Then you think, and then there's multiple choice questions that you would do based on the video that you just saw. And there's obviously four of those questions, and you can sort of go through them here. And then there's dig deeper, which is there's a little bit of learn more. This is the teacher has used this as an extension, um, and they've even included a picture in here about the brain and stuff. And then there's even discussions. So this was a TED Ed lesson creator in New York, and do you consider yourself a skeptic? So you can click on it, and then you've seen some other people who have done discussions with it. So you could do this whole thing. This is somebody here who's done it. It gives you a whole bunch of information there. So you could go through these lessons. So even if you wanted to just use these lessons yourself, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. You can do it by it's organized by topics. I suppose within that, so the arts, and then there's visual arts, performing arts, value of the arts. There's a whole bunch of different things there, and you could even talk about duration. You can see videos that are a certain amount of time. So if you just want ones that are really short, there's one that's under 3 minutes long. Uh, Content, so TED had originals, TED Talks, lessons, best flips, those sorts of things. So there's just lots of different things that you can do with it. This is interesting. This is stuff that's just there. So there's communities. This lesson here has been viewed 7,677 times, and I'll talk about what that flips mean later on. Um, so it's pretty slick. There's even a series, so you can go to series, which means they've organized this into some series of overall uh, ideas. So superhero science. This is a series that was created by somebody, and so all of their videos are in here. So it's about this one. I've seen these before, and this talks about the superhero and the science behind superheroes. Um, so some pretty cool stuff. This Joy Lynn, and I've actually seen a teacher in our board do something like this as well. So it talks about the science behind superheroes and stuff. So it's pretty cool things. So if you like someone's lesson, you can follow their whole series of lessons. They can create a whole series around that idea. So there could be a whole bunch of stuff in here, and there's the writer's workshop. There's lots of different things in here, um, and then there's even a community here, which is like discussion boards. So it's got stuff about TED Ed brainstorming. So there's discussion topics. This looks a little bit kind of Facebookish. Um, Not the slickest site yet. This one's probably still being developed a little bit more. There's some idea topics. You go on here just to get some ideas about things. Um, Lots of different stuff there. Clubs, I'm going to talk about in a second as well. But here's the great thing about this lessons. You can create your own, right? So you can create a lesson of your own, so you can log in. So I have a username, and so I'm just going to log myself in here. Hopefully I remember it. Yeah, so I'm in. There's me now. And I think I created a video. So let's just look on mine. I had done a lesson a while ago. Yeah, here. So if you click this one, so you see you can create your own, and it's pretty slick. I did the title. It's created by me. I used a TED Ed. So this is a TED Talk that I had. You have a little bit of an intro. There's your think. Um, and there's some, you can see here, there's short answer questions. I don't think I did any, I put in some dig deeper. These are links, so they're actually, you can put in hot links to this stuff. I put a link to this guy's workshop school, and lots of stuff there. And finally, so you can create your own lesson. And what's cool about this is, if you go into, let's go back to this, you can actually enroll students. So look at down here. So for this lesson that I did here, I had some of my teachers at when I was at BMT. So lesson stats. So you can see the questions, lesson stats. You can actually have students enroll. So here's a breakdown. Um, these people enrolled. These are some of the teachers that were there. You can review what they said. So here's the you can see this is what that one teacher had said to my questions. So you can actually enroll your class. You can even, if you did multiple choice questions, you can say which ones are right and which ones are wrong, and it'll mark it for you. So you can see here, correct on the first attempts, total attempts. So you can have it marked for you. So you can have a whole lesson that's sitting on this TED site that looks just like a TED lesson. Now, what can you use? Can you just use TED Talks? No, you can use anything on YouTube. That's the cool part. You can use any video on YouTube. Now, what does that mean? That means that you can use any of the millions of videos that's on there, but it means that also you can use a video that you post. So you could create a video. So all these videos that I create, all these HoPE videos, I post on YouTube, and it takes almost no time at all to do it. So you could post your own video and then have the questions and considerations on here and have that open to everybody to see. You can have your students enroll. You should take a look at it. It's cool. And the other part about it that's just brand new, this is brand new, like I'm talking about 3 days old, is TED Ed clubs. So you can, and I'll attach the video to this to the newsletter as well. But you can create a TED Ed club. What that means is you can apply to it, and there's just a form that you have to fill out, and it's all in here, and you can organize it and send it out, and it's from all over the world, and it gives you topics, and the whole idea is that it helps with what they're calling presentation literacy. So the idea is it's kids who want to do it, maybe it's in your class, and it gives you different sort of topics that you can use for discussions, and then the point is that the kids eventually create a TED Talk, a short version of a TED Talk like you see, and you can have them taped and things like that, and you can post them on here, and then you can nominate them for a TED Ed World Summit, so that you might be able to even go to one of these, or they have even regionals. So this is brand new. This is like literally 3 or 4 days old, and um, at least that we have access to. And so there's lots of, you could fill this out. I would love to see what this looks like in practice at HoPE. If anybody's interested, please come see me about this going into second semester. This is pretty cool. I mean, I'm a big TED supporter anyway. I liked TED Ed. I was one of the first ones who found it, and I was using it with some of the vice principals, and then it went from beta to a complete version, and they added some things. So this is some pretty amazing stuff. And this clubs one is a real game changer, because this is how you can really start that idea of presentation literacy is a new one that's sort of coming across the um, uh, through some of the literature, is the idea that students now, because of their ability and the ease with which you can publish and you can create media, their ability to do that is a real skill that in the past hasn't been all that big of an issue, and it has to be done in a different way. So um, check it out. This is TED Ed. You can take a look at it. It's absolutely free for you to get your membership, and you can not only view a whole bunch of lessons, but you can create your own using anything from YouTube. Pretty amazing stuff.